Hello class, how's it going? I just wanted to add some supplementary material here to add to the content section for this fourth unit. Just wanted to try to create a short video here. I'm going to try to be short and to the point. You can pause the video at any point to make notes or to go over some of the material. Some of it is already covered in the content, but some of it is not, so I decided to add some of my own stuff in here. And the goal is for it to help with the quiz that's going to be coming up next week, and to also help with the discussion, which is going to be Thursday and Friday. So our topic is income inequalities and racism and discrimination. And in the curriculum for Unit 4, one section is on global inequalities, and specifically looking at an understanding of the various types of discrimination, for example, racism, homophobia, ageism, sexism, hate crimes, etc. So we pull some questions here to think about. Who is at fault for poverty? The person, society, government, combination of the three. Some basic terminology here. I'm not going to go over them all in extensive detail, but you can go through them as you wish, and many of them are also in the content section as well. Two terms that are not in the content section and that I added for some clarity and that may help you with the assignment down the road and for the discussion is something called the low income cutoff, which in Canada is known as the poverty line according to Statistics Canada, which is an annual income that they determine is the poverty line. Unemployment rate is calculated by a percentage of the labor force that is unemployed. Important thing to know is that the labor force does not include students, retired people, people with disabilities who are not currently working, and people who are not actively seeking work. Some more definitions to just help with some clarity. Racism, discrimination, prejudice, stereotypes, and genocide, and just important to understand the difference between those 5 key terms, and again, something that you can go through on as you wish. Some other terms that are not in the content section that I wanted to add to help for future assessments: systemic discrimination, systemic racism, and systemic sexism. The general idea here is that it's a system of those forms of discrimination, racism and sexism, where it's a philosophy or just something that is been practiced through an organization, workplace, etc. Paradigm is a sort of a way of processing information in a filter that one uses. An example is if a stranger approaches, it can be seen as one person as a possible threat, while someone else may see it as just another passerby. Why is this the case? And this is something that social scientists have continued to try to determine and to continue to study and research. Is prejudice learned or innate? Social scientists generally believe prejudice is learned. Hate crimes basically target a victim because of his or her perceived membership in a certain social group based on race, gender, sexual orientation, religion, etc. Social scientists have struggled to identify why people possess such strong hatred. Scapegoats are easily identified minority groups on which those with power can lay blame and act out on their aggression, a term you may remember from grade 10 history or any previous course you may have taken. There's 4 main characteristics of hate crimes. I'm going to try to go through this fairly concisely. Hatred is intense and impersonal. Generally, it's not a personal grudge, and they usually do not know the victim or victims. Hatred is based on prejudice and power. The hatred is directed at scapegoats for other frustrations. And genocide is an expression of national hatred. And one of the most common examples of hate crimes and genocide, as well as scapegoats, is Hitler, which again you would have learned about in grade 10 history or possibly some other previous courses. So the purpose for this was to help with the quiz next week and with the assignment at the end of next week that you will be working on, but also for the discussion coming up Thursday and Friday. So for this discussion, we're going to do it a little bit differently here. The topic is going to be income inequality. The job of the moderator in this case for each group is to pose a discussion or debate topic for the group to consider. Once he or she has posed the question, the discussion will take place as it always does, with each member stating their response to the moderator's post and then replying to the other members. The moderator will help facilitate the discussion and can chime in if and when they wish to. So instead of leading the discussion, they're actually going to pose the discussion question to their group. So a little bit different here. I think it's going to work out well. And here's an example of a question that can be posed to your group. Is income inequality a natural characteristic of societies that merely needs to be understood rather than eliminated, or is it a severe social problem that must be addressed by our politicians? Explain your answer with an example. So the moderator would pose some type of discussion, question, or topic like that to their group. The group would respond to that question, can respond to their other members in the group, and the moderator can facilitate and chime in as needed. And it's going to start Thursday morning at 8 a.m. and will end Friday by 6 p.m. And this is posted on the e-learning site under Unit 4 discussion, but I just wanted to go over and just to clarify and to add some extra information there. So use this video as needed to help with the quiz and the assignment next week, but also for the discussion. And as usual, if you have any questions, please feel free to email me, and I'll be able to answer those questions. Thank you.